Yeah. So I Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Today my task is talk with Annie for 5 minutes on the topic please, the evolution of politeness. Do you ready? Okay. So I asked you from 50 questions.
50 questions. It's a lot of ground to cover.
Okay.
I'm ready when you are. Shoot.
So my first question, what does the word please mean?
Depending on how you use it, it's usually about making someone happy or giving them a satisfaction. It's basically the social lubricant we use to keep things smooth when we're asking for something. You got the next one.
Why do people use the word
It's all about that social grace, right? It's a way to show you're not just demanding something, but you're actually considering the other person's feelings. Makes the whole interaction in order a request.
when we use the word please?
It's basically about respect. It's a way to soften the blow so you don't sound like you're just barking orders at people. Most people are way more likely to help you out if you feel like you're asking rather than telling.
How can please make communication more effective?
It changes the whole energy of the conversation. It makes the other person feel valued instead of used, which usually means they're actually happy to help you. It's like a shortcut to getting people on your side. You ready for question three?
What happens when people forget to say please?
Usually it just rubs people the wrong way. It can come off as rude or entitled, even if you didn't mean it that way. Most people just feel a bit dismissed, and it can definitely make them less inclined to go the extra mile for you. What's next on the list?
Is politeness important in modern society?
Absolutely. It's kind of the glue that keeps everything from falling apart when we're all stressed and rushing around. Without it, every little interaction would just be a clash of egos. I'm guessing you've got a few more of these on the list
And why?
because it stops things from escalating. When you add a bit of kindness to a request, you're acknowledging the other person's humanity. The way easier to deal with a crowded subway or a long line at the store when people are actually being decent to each other. What's the next one?
Polite without saying.
I mean, like being polite through your actions. Body language, a smile, or even just giving someone a bit of space can say a lot more than a word ever could.
Do all languages have an equivalent of please?
I'm assuming you're asking. I'm assuming you're asking if every language has a specific word for it, right? It's a wild thought, especially since not every language has a direct equivalent to the word please. Some cultures use grammatical tweaks or verb levels to show respect, and others just tack thank you onto the end of a request instead. It's kind of cool how politeness is universal, but the way we actually say it is all over the place.
Can
Yep, another one for
politeness
me.
can politeness improve teamwork and how?
For sure. It basically, removes the friction. People feel respected. They're more open to sharing ideas and less likely to get defensive when things get corrected. It turns a group of people working on the same project into an actual team because there's trust there. What's next on the list?
What is the origin of the word please?
Wait, did you mean please or police? because those are two very different vibes.
Please.
Got it. Sticking with the politeness vibe. Give me a second to dig into where it actually comes from. So it actually comes from the old French word plaisir and goes all the way back to the Latin placere, which basically meant to be acceptable or liked. It was originally a shorter version of phrases like, if it please you, which is why we use it today to soften a request. It's a pretty interesting shift from a full sentence to just one word. What's the next question on your list?
How has the please meaning changed our time?
It stayed surprisingly consistent, really. It's always been about making a request more acceptable to the other person. The main shift is just how fast we say it now. It's become more of a habit or a social reflex than a formal plea. Do you think people are still as polite as they used to be?
How does culture influence the use of polite language?
It's everything. In some places, it's all about the hierarchy, like using different words depending on who's older or more senior. And others, it's more about keeping the peace and avoiding any kind of direct confrontation. Basically, the culture tells you how much padding you need to put around a request to not seem rude.
Do all languages have an equivalent of please?
You actually just asked me that one a minute ago. Remember, not every language has a specific word for pleases. Some just use different grammar or levels of formality to get the same point across. Still got more questions in that 50 question marathon?
Why is politeness important in schools?
Because it sets the whole tone for how people treat each other. It makes the classroom a place where people actually want to be, and when students feel respected, they're usually way more open to learning. Plus, it just makes the teacher's life a lot easier. You feeling the vibe of these questions, or are you moving into a different angle?
How can saying please reduce conflicts?
It basically acts like a buffer. When you add a please, you're signaling that you're not trying to control the other person, which stops them from getting defensive. It's way harder to start an argument with someone who's being genuinely decent to you. What's the next one?
Is it possible to be polite without saying please?
100%. Tone, eye contact, and just being helpful without being asked. Those things often speak way louder than a single word. It's more about the intention behind the interaction than the actual vocabulary you're using. What's next on the list?
What is the difference between formal and informal politeness? Explain in detail.
Formal politeness is like the official version. It's structured, it uses specific titles, and creates a bit of a professional distance. Informal is more about the vibe and like shared connection, like using casual language or inside jokes to show you're comfortable with someone. Basically, formal is about respect for the position, and informal is about respect for the person. You still got a bunch of these questions left, right?
23.
23 left.
Yeah.
Still a decent chunk of the list. Let's keep it rolling. What's next? I'm ready.
How
Shoot your
has
next
soc-
question.
okay. How has social media affected polite communication?
It's kind of stripped away a lot of the nuance.
Please.
Since we can't see faces or hear tones, things get misinterpreted way faster. People tend to be more blunt, and the please often gets replaced by an emoji or just gets dropped entirely because speed is the priority. It's basically turned communication into a game of efficiency over elegance. What's the next one?
So, third last question.
You want the sword?
How can students practice politeness every day?
It's all about the small things, just starting with things like holding the door for someone or actually looking at a person when they're talking to you. Even just saying thanks for the little things makes a huge difference in how people see you. What's the second to last one?
What are some other polite words besides please?
You've got a whole toolkit of them. Thank you is the obvious one, but then you've got excuse me for when you're interrupting or sorry when you've messed up. Even things like I appreciate it or would you mind can
Yeah.
do the a lot of the heavy lifting. What's the final question on the list?
Okay. So I will talk to
I'm
you
waiting.
from for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes over. So last question. Why is gratitude connected to politeness?
Because they both come from the same place, recognizing that someone did something for you and that it actually matters. Politeness is like the front door, it's how you start the interaction. But gratitude is the deeper feeling that follows when you're actually thankful for the help. They're basically two sides of the same coin. That's a wrap on the 50 questions, right?
Okay, so thank you for answering all questions. Have a nice day.
Anytime. It was a wild ride. You have a great one too.
Thank you.
No problem.